Hello everyone, Jamarcus here, and I am here with week 1 of DDL Season 6. And we're going to start at the replay here. For this season, I think I'm going to just do the replays, not look at the matchup or the team that I brought, just to keep some secrets that I don't want to reveal, just in case. We're facing Harvey. We're 1-1 against him. Good friend. Um, Weird matchup. He doesn't really have a top tier like I do. He just has a lot of stuff, I guess. Um, as for Terra's, he is Terra fighting on his Necrozma, and I did not bring a Terra captain. The plan here is lead to Dunsparce, and glare some things, get up rocks, do some damage with Boom Burst. Nothing really loves getting glared. Um, that's the plan. Victini is a breaker. Iron Val is a late game cleaner with boost your special attack, as you'll see, not actually speed. Because I figured Vacuum Wave was the only speed I would need in this game. So having the stronger Moonblasts into the bulk would be nice. I also have Psyshock on it for a Pheasantipity that did not show up. Iron Treads uh, is 4 attacks. It's just here as my Ogre Pawn switch in, really. But I can also switch on Goodra if I need it to. It's Choppleberry. Samurai is just Scarf, 3 attacks with Encore. Lottie's just a support set. Let's take a look. I lead the Dunsparce. It's always my plan to lead this thing. Um, Bandit, Earthquake can 2-hit KO me, but if they're banded, then I can just go into Latias. I just click Boom Burst this turn because I figure a U-turn might come out. I actually had a mistake. I brought Serene Grace. I don't have any Serene Grace moves, so I really should have been rattled. But anyways, I understand to click Boom Burst here, and I think off to a bad start, of course, but I think I misplayed. So I Boom Burst, I get my chip, which is great, but I mean I get crit by Superpower, which is not great. It would have 2-hit KO'd me anyways, even after leftovers, which I am. Had I glared, I would have half the speed of their Landers, which they ended up being Choice Scarf, which is not surprising seeing as they have Superpower and their max attack. It's nice that I lived that. I'm pretty Fizz Def. Had I glared, this would have been a much easier late game for Iron Valiant, with Iron Val being faster. With this being faster than my Val, it can kind of just Earthquake and do a whole lot of damage to me. Whereas if it's paralyzed, I can Moonblast and kill it easily. And this is the only thing that would be faster than my Val. Also Ogre Pawn, but I have Vacuum Wave for that. I'm not running a lot of speed on my Val. Just enough for a Pheasantipity that didn't show up. So anyways, glaring there would have been nice. Anything they switch into, like if they go Rotom, I don't really care. What does Rotom do to me? I can roost off any damage it does. And Boom Burst them, get at my rocks for free. So I'm thinking I should have just glared. My other concern was if they're taunt on Landorus, but even if they taunt my glare, that's okay. I can just Boom Burst the next turn. They don't do all that much to me. I'm gonna kill them before they kill me, as you can tell from the damage, assuming they don't have superpower on a taunt set. So a bit of an unfortunate turn 1. I see that they are, I'm assuming they're Choice Scarf at this point, so I go Lottie. And if they're not Choice Scarf, I think they're probably clicking Earthquake that turn. I don't think U-turn would actually kill. Maybe it would, but it's not like it's going to kill Lottie. I'm max HP. I have leftovers. They are locked into that. Unfortunately, my Lottie doesn't really have anything for a Rotom. I'm Ice Beam, Earthquake, Roost. But I get the freeze, so the unlucky crit earlier on is paying off now. Because the crit made it so it's going to be really hard to heal up the Dunsparce. Whereas if I don't get crit, I think I could reasonably. But getting the freeze, helps. I actually go to Dunsparce this turn to try and heal it up. I think it was a little aggressive of me. It thaws and I died a full switch. So pretty unfortunate. Had I been able to roost this thing back up, I would have gotten up rocks, which would break the sturdy on cornerstone, and also just be able to get glare off. Whereas now it's dead and I did 50% to a Lando. Speaking of Lando, and it comes, I go Lottie, because I know U-turn won't do too much damage to me, and I can Ice Beam. They go Rotom, totally fine. I can roost up on this thing, not a whole lot I can do. If it Thunder Waves me, it's not the end of the world. I roost. They wisp, they miss, um, which is nice, of course. That means I get to keep my leftovers chip healing. Ice Beam again, there's not a whole lot I can do to them or they can do to me, but I have a healing move they don't. So I figured I can chip them down and fish for a freeze. In comes Gudra. Again, I don't have anything for this. I don't really want to go treads because it's my corner pawn check. So I'm just going to Ice Beam this. I get a crit, which tells me they're either like max F or AV, and I get a freeze. Getting very lucky with this Lottie. 2 freezes and 4 Ice Beams. I'll take for sure. And I don't want to switch on this thing, so I just keep chipping it down. If I can get damage on this for Victini, it's fantastic. I'm going to keep Ice Beaming. Ice Beam once again. And because the next Ice Beam won't kill, I actually go Treads here because I'm expecting a Dragon move to come out, like Draco. So I go Treads, and Ice Spinner will kill this. Necrozma comes in, pretty big threat. This thing can set up like Dragon Dance or Calm Mind or Autotomize because it's Nat Dex. I go into Samurott here. I know they're terrifying, but I'm looking to Encore them. I think this was a bad play, and you'll see why. They Autotomize. They're faster than me now. I'm Scarf, but they'll still be faster. So they can just Terra Blast Fighting and kill me. But they don't. Terra Blast Fighting absolutely would have killed. It would have become a physical move, which I'm assuming they're physical. And they also would have gained Stab and Super Effective. So either way, it would have killed. Or maybe they're special. I think they actually did end up being special because of how much that did. Yeah, they're special. But they would have gained Stab and Super Effective, so it would have easily killed. And then my Samurott would be dead, which they have no Dark Resist, so Samurott looks fantastic here. I don't think staying in with Treads was necessarily the play, because if they're like some bulky healing set, then Treads is never really doing anything to it. I think probably going Lottie and just threatening some damage on them. Although it's the same problem as there. I don't have Thunder Wave on this Lottie or anything. So if they're a bulky healing set, there's not a whole lot I can do to them. And that's why I went Samurott, because I felt like the rest of my team lost to like a Calm Mind Moonlight set. So anyways, I Encore them into Terra Blast. And this turn I go Victini because I figured that they'll probably want to Terra Blast fight this time because they're locked into it. So I go Victini, don't take any damage. This turn I can easily click Fire move, but I expect Heatran to come in. I don't think they're going to sack this Necrozma for any reason. So I click Scorching Sands, expecting the Heatran to switch it. And they don't switch. So I click Scorching Sands. I do get the burn, which is nice. The extra little bit of chip healing is nice. So they're locked into Terra Blast. I figured they want to stay in at this point, so I do click Blue Flare. It does really great damage, and because of the burn, they will die the next turn. And I do click Blue Flare again this turn, just in case they do have a healing move. They died a burn, but they were in range of Vacuum Wave anyway, so even if I don't get the burn, I could have Revenged killed them for sure. I go Lottie because nothing really threatens Lottie at this point. They go Rotom, totally fine. I'm going to keep Ice Beaming. They will switch out, totally fine. In comes Heatran. I have Earthquake on this, so I will be able to 2KO this Heatran pretty easily. Then Magma Storm, totally fine. And what do I do here? Do I Earthquake again? I don't think I do. Yeah, I have Roost, because I figured Rotom's probably coming back in. I don't think you're sacking Heatran. I keep Ice Beaming because I'm getting a little bit of chip. I just need to make sure I have a couple Ice Beams, or really just one, for the Lando, because the rest of my team is looking pretty prone to losing to Scarf Earthquake. I'm not sure if Val actually dies or not. Like, it might be close, but I probably live. But I do need to be careful about that. And then, yeah, Treads dies, Samurott dies. I think it's Sped. And then Lottie is really the only thing helping me against that. So I need to either not take any damage on Val or have a Lottie left. Ideally both. They both switch out. They're getting chipped down. In comes Cornerstone. Totally fine. I can go Treads. I would live Knockoff into Low Kick because I have Choppleberry, but they do just Cudgel instead. Totally fine. They SD as I Rapid Spin here, figuring... I mean, it's my strongest move into Rotom, which is what I expected to come in here. But it'll also break Sturdy. It'll make me faster than this so that I can Heavy Slam and kill it the next turn. I do expect Rotom to come in, but it never does. So I get a kill on Cornerstone, which is fantastic. Rotom comes in. I just sack. I don't think I need treads at this point in the game. Kind of is just dying to Magma Storm or dying to Earthquake. So I Rapid Spin. And then at this point, Ceaseless Edge does not quite kill. So I decide to go into Val and click Calm Mind. Calm Mind will not, or Hydro Pump won't kill me whatsoever. The reason I click Calm Mind here is I actually need it to be able to kill Heatran. Vacuum Wave does not kill from 50, but after a Calm Mind it will. They pump totally fine. And then I can Moonblast to kill. Vacuum Wave does not kill. It does 27, so it would have done 18. So, let's see, this Lando was at 45. So even if I got another Calm Mind up, Vacuum Wave would not have killed. I would have needed 2 more, so maybe I could have played for the Hydro Pump miss and just won the game with Val immediately. But I do think I will be okay into Scarf Earthquake at this point because I have Latias. Heatran comes in, I can Earthquake on the switch because Lando's locked in on Earthquake. I lose pretty much nothing from clicking Earthquake that turn. And that'll allow me to 2-hit KO the Heatran, which leaves me healthy enough to take a U-turn from Lando. If they do click Knockoff instead, Samurott will live and kill him back. So they can U-turn. They don't get a crit, which is nice, although I think crit would have been a roll. It would have done like 18 or 19% more. No, I'm wrong. That's totally wrong. Actually, like it was perfectly a roll. If that crit, it would have done an extra 28%. So I'm lucky that it didn't crit. If it crits, I lose the game because I don't have a priority move on Samurott. But it doesn't crit, and I win the game. Kind of an ugly game. I don't think I played particularly well. I don't think I brought a particularly great team. Booster special attack Val was definitely wrong. If I was just a standard booster speed Val, I outspeed and outgo everything on the team. For some reason I thought this was the set. It didn't work. It was really bad into Scarf Lando. So I should have had a bit more assurance into that. Victini was okay. It didn't do what I was expecting, and like getting a big hit on Heatran and then an Energy Ball on Rotom, and I even had Glaciate for Lando, but that didn't work out. Dunsparce got crit. I misplayed a little bit as well. I could never heal it back up or get up rocks. And yeah, just not my cleanest game. I think some misplays from my opponent also helped out, especially with the Ogerpon interaction. And also the freezes on Goodra. Like, Goodra didn't do anything this game because I freezed it and it stayed frozen for 5 turns or something. But, we'll take it. I did make some trades, unfortunately. Dunsparce is leaving us. I was really excited about using this Pokemon. I think it's actually quite underrated. It's really good at trading, statusing, getting up rocks, just being a nuisance. But I realized that during Grace, Harvey actually, who has sniped me on Glamora, had dropped it. So Glamora was on the board, so I picked up Glamora, and I also had to drop Weezing Galar to be able to afford a Glamora. So Weezing's also gone, and I picked up a Pangoro instead. So Weezing and Dunsparce are gone, now I have Glamora and Pangoro. I think it's definitely an upgrade. Pangoro helps me into some ghost matchups and some dark matchups, which my team I thought was a little weak to. Iron Valiant was really all I had to threaten dark types. So having something else will be nice. And then Glamora, of course, is Glamora. When I have such a good spin blocker in Sinistra, I think Glamora will put in a lot of useful hazard stacking. But time will tell. GG's Harvey. Thanks for watching, everyone. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.